So you stood him up again, it sounds like.
Oh, no problem. Just hit me up when you free up. I never freed up. Never hit him back. Never contacted him again.
This right here is why men play so-called games. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chishy Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Woman drops the ball after meeting the love of her life. I'm not saying this, she said this. Met the love of her life and screwed it up. Where have you heard this before? We've heard it before. No more wasting time, let's get it.
So I literally met the love of my life this weekend and got cut off by him before the weekend even ended. And I'm devastated and heartbroken. So Friday I went to a happy hour and I'm starving. So I'm just like scarfing down my food. I don't notice a guy come sit down next to me. So he's sitting down, I hear him talking. I look over to see the most beautiful man I've ever seen. On a 1 to 10 scale, this man was a 20, he was gorgeous. So he starts talking to me and he's like, "Can I get you a drink?" Of course. So he gets me a drink, we're laughing, we're talking, and I'm like, "Oh, I have to run to the mall before they close. Like, nice to meet you." He's like, "Oh, I'll come with you." Comes to the mall with me. Afterwards, he's like, "I'm going out tonight with my friends. I really want you to pull up." Of course. But that doesn't happen. I come home, I shower, I fall asleep, I completely forget all about it. So the next day, he's like, "Hey, missed you last night. Can I take you to brunch today?" Again, of course. So I meet him for brunch, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing today?" I tell him I have to run an errand, and then I have some friends coming in town tonight. I'm hanging out with them. He's like, "Oh, can I see you after your errand? I want to spend the day with you." The adult thing would have been like, "No, I'm sorry. Like, let's do tomorrow," something. But again, he was gorgeous and I'm weak. And I was like, of course you can spend the day with me. So I start running my errand and I tell him like, "Hey, this is taking a really long time. I'm really sorry." And he's like,
So you stood him up again, it sounds like.
"Oh, no problem. Just hit me up when you free up." I never freed up. Never hit him back. Never contacted him again. Went out with my friend, stayed out all night, went out again the next morning. Like, I was just outside. So I text him Sunday night and I'm like, "Hey." And he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Oh, just getting ready for the week. You?" And he was like, he actually didn't even respond. He just liked the message. So I was like, ... good talk. We good? And he said something really snarky, like related to me not hitting him back. My hair is a mess. Related to me like not hitting him back. And I was just like, "I'm sorry. Are you mad?" And he was like, "No, I'm good." I've not heard from this man since. And it's like, first of all, Judge Judy, relax. We're strangers. Like, I get it, but it's never that serious. Other part of me is like, "Babe, I've never been in love like this. Please don't let us end this way." And I'm like, do I take my L and keep it pushing? Or do I blow his phone up? Like, I don't know what to do.
Obviously, take your L. This right here, and I know this is going to be a controversial statement to a lot of you guys out here, but this right here is why men play so-called games. This is why men learn to do things. And to guys that just do, there are people who've never dated in the social media age, and there are people who lack the patience to do this, right? They'll say things like, "Man, I don't play those games." But here's what I mean. She's used to a man who keeps her on edge. And a lot of women today, based on the type of attention they receive, usually respond better when a man takes a couple of days and finally hits her up. You know, that is game. It's not the only game. His approach was game too. Game just means the way you approach women. But with a lot of women today, and some of these women don't even understand how much they're influenced by so much access to attention from other men. They don't respond well to a guy who is straightforward. And women will tell you, "I just want a man who's just straightforward, who's going to tell me how he feels and just going to set the date immediately." But when that happens, a lot of them get this sense of validation from that man already, and they're less inclined to cooperate. Now, of course, if you're thinking to yourself, "She's a red flag anyway, he saved himself a lot of headaches," I agree with you. But just to prove my point real quick, because sometimes, I'm telling you this, guys, sometimes a good chick will do this. Like a woman who just doesn't know will do this and overlook a guy and be like, "You know what? I'm going to go give that guy a chance." And then they'll date, get married, and everything will work out. Right? But here's my point. The only time she found him attractive is after he put his foot down and she couldn't have him. I don't usually give a lot of chicks advice out here, but if you're a woman out here and you want a man, you want to take that seriously and not make decisions based on emotions. Now, the truth is women are emotional creatures and they can only control that to a certain degree. But notice how she felt more attracted to him after he put his foot down. Now she's trying to do everything to meet him, even went as far as to make a whole video about him when she could have easily fixed this whole conversation by having a coffee date with him. And that's that. If you like him, cool. If you don't, then you don't. And then you move on, right? Clear example that a lot of these chicks just love the drama. They're addicted to the chase and will end up alone. Let's see what people have to say. Maybe the women here agreed with her. First comment here says, you showed that man that you had poor communication and he said, I ain't got time. This is true with the crying and laughing emojis. If it was me, and I'm sure some other guys would agree with this, after that first time, he was being really, really nice. Somebody else here says, go up that mountain to save your marriage. It's too late. Another person here added, this expectation of wanting to be prioritized this soon is crazy. So this chick actually thinks that that man is the problem. But if you played games, now it will be, well, why are you playing games? But you know what? She'll text back. She'll text back and she'll be like, oh, took so long to text me, pretending like she forgot who you are. Somebody else who says, work on your communication, apologize and start over. Here's somebody else who says, you fumbled, sis, with the crying emoji. Somebody else here added, you're not ready. Definitely not ready. Another person here says, if the roles were reversed, I would have been highly irritated. She's finding it hard here to call this chick out and tell her that she has to be accountable for this situation. But she goes on to say, so I'm gonna side with him on this. Oh, wow. Here's somebody else who says, that man knows his worth. Don't blow him up, but apologize and try again. Here's somebody else who says, I don't know. I kind of think that level of pressure upon first meeting is a red flag. Follow your intuition. I would discourage men to take a woman back seriously for a serious relationship after she showed that she wasn't very interested in meeting you after you've tried over and over and over and over again. This gentleman says, nah, as a man, that possessive, that fast, red flag. Because I only met you one day. I don't expect that much from you in just meeting you. No, I disagree. And here's why I disagree. Because for some guys, they just don't want to play the games. They're just going to keep it straight. No matter how much it would help to do the cat and mouse thing. There's just certain guys out here just like, no. Somebody else here says, girl, it's too hard out here to be fumbling like this. Back to the streets for her. Here's another comment that says, his feelings are valid. Apologize and see where it goes. Of course, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. As always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Do you think that he was in the wrong or she was in the wrong? Till next time, I'm out. Peace.